Who seeks an audience? Ah, good day, Gallus. You've been scarce from the palace in these past days. No trouble, I hope.
Yes, Imperator, I've been overseeing a controversy in Egypt. The Arian follower was rabble-rousing.
Still, it's been 5 years since Nicaea. You would think the Arians had come to accept the decision by now.
I don't think they ever will fully. Perhaps in time, God willing, they'll come around.
Leave it to the governor. I'm sure they can exile this troublemaker or something. But what brings you by this day? You brought something, it seems.
Yes, the Praetorian Prefect brought by the finished drafts for your new church. I must say, it will be quite spectacular.
Ah, yes. They came and presented me the designs as well. It's exactly what I envisioned. They have outdone themselves. But surely bringing a scroll would not bring you all the way down here. What is on your mind?
Well, you're right. That's not the only reason I stopped by. Looking over the plans, this looks to be a lavish expenditure. Are you sure that the Treasury can handle such an expense?
Of course, the Solidi will be made available. Don't worry about it. The Glacio Lustrolus will be collected this year. Money will be no problem.
Ah, yes, your tax on the merchants. I've heard a great deal of grumbling about it in past months. Some people think it's burdensome, a penalty for trading.
Everyone grumbles when it's time to pay their taxes. They should think about how much it benefits the state, and how much worse trading would be if the legions didn't get their pay.
Of course, you're right. It's only that some think it's less for the legions and more for your capital and all of its splendor.
And what of it if so? The empire is secure. Its borders are growing again. The civil wars are finally at an end. People should be happy to be living in such peaceful times. Seems there were no issues in getting the gold for the roof panels.
No, the artisans have begun to melt down some of the offerings to the pagan gods from the churches nearby. The idols will provide the gold needed.
It seems such a waste to destroy such beautiful offerings. I only hope no evil befalls the church, or people will talk.
What do you mean? Why would something evil happen to a house of God? The Lord will protect his place of worship. Surely you don't believe that those idols hold any power. The pagan gods aren't real, after all.
Whether or not they are real, the Christian faith is not shared amongst everyone in my empire. I must care for the beliefs of those who worship the old gods and the new. They have been worshipped longer than Christ, after all.
The age of the pagan gods is not important. God is older than all men, all religions. This discussion can be put aside for now. This church, you intend to be interred here after you're gone?
I've made no secret of it.
Some feel that to include yourself among the apostles might be somewhat brazen.
Brazen? Me? I am the god and master of this empire. God himself sent the sign to show me his favor. If that is not divine right for my rule, and I don't know what is.
Calling yourself that title is still blasphemy. We've discussed this. As for the Cairo, it'll take wiser men than I to determine what that means on divine sanction.
That went well, my friend. The Emperor was thrilled at the layout we put together for him. This will lead to big things for us. I know it.
Imagine it. We being the Emperor's preferred builders for all his new buildings. This basilica will surpass all the others in the Empire. Maybe even the world. Maybe he'll ask us to make him a Colosseum, like the one in Rome next.
Have you ever seen the Colosseum in Rome? I didn't think you had ever left Anatolia.
Well, no, I haven't. But my father did when he was in the legions. He told us about it when I was young. He served under Maxentius before the battle at Milvian Bridge. He used to gather my brothers and I around in the evenings and talk about what it was like. He used to tell us, too, how all the evil that Maxentius was supposed to have done was all a big lie made up by the emperor, that Constantine invaded and was actually the one who broke up the tetrarchy that Diocletian put in place for his own arrogance. Said he never saw anything in the sky, crosses or otherwise, nothing but clouds.
I think that makes your father a fool, and you are one as well. To say something like that out loud within the palace? God grant you the good sense to know when to stop talking.
Do not worry, my friend. Nothing bad will happen to us this day. I saw an eagle this morning on my way to meet you. That is a good sign.
Signs again? I do wish you would give up these superstitions and come to church with me sometime. The priest speaks about such things and signs as Satan trying to tempt souls.
Do not start this again. I told you before that I do not have any need of your new god. My family has honored the gods the way we are supposed to, all the way back to the time of Augustus. We are good and proper Romans, to a man, and we make our offerings each holiday.
It does not matter how long your family has practiced your beliefs. The age does not make them any less heathen than any of the other pagan beliefs.
Jupiter saved me from the love of Christians. Why must you care so much about the beliefs of others? The empire has always welcomed whatever beliefs that people wish to have, from the Greeks to the Persians, so long as you made offerings to the emperors.
The times are changing, Marcus. Christ taught us that the worship of other gods is a sin. The empire is finally recognizing that. Trust me, this will be for the best. With work like we have started on this church, we will bring God's favor upon the empire.
I suppose only time will tell. Perhaps this is a new age, or maybe one of the next emperors will try to reverse all of this and restore the gods.
Surely be branded a pagan, or an apostate perhaps. I think Emperor Constantine is going to make Christian worship the commonplace religion from now on.
I suppose in the long run, there is little that it really matters to either of us about what happens in the future. Rome will remain, eternal as always, whatever religion ends up becoming commonplace.
Agreed. No sense worrying about the future. Let's just celebrate the good news of today. Come on, there is a Thermopolium nearby that makes the best garum in the city. I'll buy.
I do have a question, though. I've heard there is a man in Egypt. Anthony, I think is his name. He fights demons. Is there any such truth to that?